There's a specific moment that happens right before someone becomes wealthy. It's not a lottery win, it's not an inheritance, it's not even the first big paycheck. It's a single mental shift, and once you see it, you'll notice it in almost every self-made rich person's story. Sara Blakely was selling fax machines door to door, making $20,000 a year when she cut the feet off a pair of pantyhose in her apartment. She had no fashion background, no business degree, and $5,000 in savings. A few years later, she was the youngest self-made female billionaire in the world. The product mattered, but the product wasn't the real turning point. The turning point happened months earlier, in her head, before she'd sold a single pair. Here's the shift. Almost every broke person asks, how do I avoid losing what I have? Almost every wealthy person, at some point, starts asking a different question. What am I willing to risk to get what I don't have yet? That single reframe from protection to acquisition is the line that separates the two groups. And it's not about bravery, it's about how your brain calculates risk. Psychologists call this the shift from a scarcity frame to an opportunity frame. Under scarcity, your brain treats every dollar as something to defend. It scans for threats, not possibilities. Under an opportunity frame, that same brain starts scanning for leverage instead. Same intelligence, same starting resources, completely different output because the question you're asking changes what your brain even bothers to notice. Here's proof of how literal this is. People primed to think about scarcity perform measurably worse on cognitive tests, roughly the same drop as losing a night of sleep. Poverty doesn't just limit your options, it hijacks your bandwidth, so you physically cannot see the opportunity in front of you, which is why the shift has to happen first, not after the money arrives, before it. So what actually triggers the shift? It's rarely a book or a seminar. It's usually a moment where the cost of staying the same finally outweighs the fear of change. Sara Blakely's father used to ask her at dinner, "What did you fail at this week?" and celebrate her for it. He wasn't rewarding failure. He was quietly reprogramming her relationship with risk years before she needed it. That's the part people miss. The shift usually gets installed long before the money shows up. By the time you see someone suddenly get rich, it happened privately, often years earlier, in a decision nobody was watching. Buffett made his first investment at 11, not because he had capital, but because somewhere before that, risk stopped feeling like danger and started feeling like information. This is also why sudden wealth without the shift tends to disappear. A large share of lottery winners end up broke again within a few years because the scarcity frame in their head never changed. They protected the windfall out of fear, not strategy, and fear is a terrible investment manager. The money was new, the mindset underneath it was old. Here's how you can start installing it now without waiting for the money. Every time you catch yourself asking, "What could I lose here?" pause and ask the second question out loud. What could this teach me or open up if it works? You're not deleting the fear, you're just refusing to let it be the only voice in the room. Try this today. Take one decision you've been avoiding because it feels risky and write down the worst realistic outcome next to the best realistic outcome. Most people, once they actually see both on paper, realize the downside was never as permanent as it felt in their head. That gap between the imagined risk and the actual risk is where every rich person's first move was made. If this shifted something for you, that's what this channel is built on, breaking down the psychology behind people who actually make it. If you want to catch that shift before it happens instead of after, hit subscribe because the next video might be the one that flips it for you.